There's been quite a lot that has happened recently in the Nigerian economy, and that has, of course, impacted the macroeconomic sphere in Nigeria and therefore impacting or trickling down to the Nigerian stock exchange. And we've seen the market, of course, remain resilient despite all of these different moves from different policies. And joining me now to assess the different developments that we've seen play out lately in the economy and how it has impacted the Nigerian equities market. I am joined now by my guest, who is a financial market analyst. He is Jerariogbe Tunde Segun. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Indeed.
Good morning, everybody.
Thank you. Indeed, I started off by speaking as to how much resilience the NGX has shown lately. Can you speak to that regard? We have seen the NGX so far perform quite in the bullish trend for the past 11 months. And there are, quite a number of insinuations saying that it just might end the year in the bullish trend in the last month, speaking of the 12th month of the year. Do you share in that sentiment?
Yeah, of course, the market will definitely end bullish. And for the past 4 years, the market has closed the year on year on a bullish note. And of course, this year, it has gathered more points, over 30% already. And from what we are seeing, there's no sign that the market will go down at all for now, especially considering the fact that most of the gains we are seeing in the market now are actually inflation push gains because values are changing and performance are changing because prices are not stable. Of course, that's why we experience most of these growth that we see in most listed equities. And of course, you will agree with me that there's no sign that things are changing very soon. So if we are talking about if the market will close up this year, yes, it will definitely close in the book.
And also, speaking of recent development, we saw the market end Friday's session with the Naira reaching a new historical low. Speaking of the Naira exchanging for 1,099 Naira to a dollar. And all of these have happened recently, despite the fact that we have seen different efforts from the CBN to bolster the foreign exchange market. How, in your point of view, is all of this not, affecting the currency market positively yet? What do you expect moving forward?
There's nothing we are expecting for now, because all the things that contributed to the value of the Naira are still intact. We've not seen the government do anything that we feel will affect the value of the Naira, especially now that even the CBN have not, the MPC board have not held any meetings they come in. So I don't see the Naira doing anything better now. And even if it's coming down whatsoever, I don't think it's something to celebrate at the moment. Of course, the dollar is actually gaining value against almost all currencies. But what we have in Nigeria is serious, and it's something that the government needs to look at. First, they need to find a way to stabilize the currency, the transactional rate, because if it's not stable, then you can't even bring it down. Of course, you agree with me that most of the rates that we talk about are the local market, the GDP rates, and which are the rates that rule the entire market. But of course, we all know that as this government came in, one of the first things they did was to unify the exchange rate. And of course, these has caused a lot of challenges. I just hope they will be able to come up with a better policy that will help the market. Because if this continue for more months or thereabouts, at least for the first quarter of next year, we might start seeing performance of listed equities dropping against what we have presently.
Speaking of policies from the government, you've mentioned as to how much importance, right policies have to be made in order to, grow the Nigerian economy. We also did see over the past week that the CBN had extended the timeline for the issuance of letters of credit from 24 hours to 5 working days. What is your view on that development, and how much will that impact, the market and investors' confidence?
Well, I don't see it doing so much on the market, but it's a good step they have taken. The truth is that we need to see, this is Nigeria, how investors react to some of these moves, and how they try to play out of the old condition, because you don't expect things to just change like that. And Nigerian being who we are, we'll always find our way around it. Like I said earlier, one of the things that government needs to do is to find a way to control the FX rate. If you can't find a control on the FX rate, if you leave it to the forces of demand and supply, definitely it will be very difficult to achieve what we expected to build the value of the naira as we speak.
Indeed, indeed. Now, moving away from the FX, the forex market, and how the naira has fared lately, let's speak a bit on the Nigerian equities market. Speaking of the NGX, we saw a remarkable milestone happen with regards to the equities market in the first week of November, where the all-share index crossed the 70,000 mark. How did we get to that point, and what were the developments that led the market to get to that, to crossing that milestone, and what do you expect moving forward?
Like I said earlier, whatever we are seeing in the market now, inflation push. We all know that the headline inflation is hitting the peak. Let me make it very simple for an ordinary person to understand. If you buy an electronic for, let's say, 100,000 at the beginning of this year, definitely if you get the market now, it will be close to 300,000. Means the value are changing. Of course, the market will value you by your performance. Of course, if you are doing business with 20 million before, definitely you will need at least 100 million to do the same business. So that's why the performance the market is receiving from most of these listed equities is far higher than what we had before. And definitely the market is going to value you based on the performance. That's why we have most of this push. Of course, the price of listed equities will grow as long as inflation keeps growing. So this is why the market has grown so much. It is not as if something outstanding is happening, but because the value of things are going up around the economy, definitely prices are also going up. The only positive side of it to investors is that they have been able to hedge against the impact of the inflation on their funds. Of course, any money kept in the market as we speak, it must still have the same value as it had before. What I mean is that, for example, you have invested 100 million into the market at the beginning of the year. Now, the value is now giving you almost 300 or more than as we speak. It means that 100 million, what you can do with it before, is still the same thing you'll be able to do with what you have at the moment. I stand to be corrected. Plus or minus. But what we are saying is that whatsoever inflation would have done to your fund outside the market, you would have gained it as we speak at the moment.
Speaking of inflation, we have seen inflation, of course, skyrocket over the past month. We are currently approaching a season where it's not uncommon to see, the seasonal inflation that comes with the season. What are your predictions for inflation for the month of December?
Okay, because, why we are into the month of December is that there is a lot of expenses, and we expect investors to spend more. That has changed since since SEC and NGX agreed to put some of these listed equities, especially the banks, the insurance, and some others, their year end to December. Of course, we have seen that instead of prices dropping in December, what we have experienced since that time is that there is a kind of macro, and you see the market building against what they are before. So to me, I don't expect the market to drop because of the festive season as it is.
Let's touch a bit on the Nigerian oil market, which is a mainstay of revenue for Nigeria. Over the weekend, we saw that Dangote Oil Refinery received its first cargo of 1 million barrels of crude oil. And there has been news that have made the rounds around Dangote Refinery, listing about $20 billion oil refinery on the Nigeria Stock Exchange. What is your view on that? And what impact would this singular action, talking about the listing of the Dangote Oil Refinery on the Nigeria, on the NGX, what effect would that have on the market in general?
Of course, definitely, we are going to see more funds moving if everybody is part of Dangote Refinery. And of course, the moment it said we want to see the market capitalized above the OSIA index return. The reason is because more value is actually coming into the market. So you will see a higher growth, especially on the day it was listed, a higher growth on the OSIA index. Then compare on the market capitalized compared to the OSIA index. So of course, people will invest. But if you ask me what we expect and what I believe that producing right here in Nigeria, but what we are seeing is kind of different from what we expect. The question is, will this solve our price or our problem of high petroleum pump price in Nigeria? Will this actually bring in what we have been promised by the government? That's what we are out to watch out for. Thank you.
It's a new week. The market start, of course, trading begins today for the week. And we've seen the market sustain the bullish trend for quite a while now. And what should we expect moving forward, at least for this week? What should we expect? Any news on any listings, any initial public offerings? What do we look forward to?
For that, I don't think there's any public listings announced, but we know that there are different things that's going on in the market. But overall, performance this week is definitely that the market is. Because even though there is profit taking, because if you take the volume, performances and others, you know that people are actually taking some profit. It is not so effective on the performance of the NBA. So to me, I still believe that even if it is going to be a slight, the market is likely to gain above the 80 points for the week.
Let's speak about Mikio. Mikio particularly has sustained its place amongst the top gainers ever since it was listed a couple of weeks ago. Do we also expect the pharmaceutical company to retain its position as a top gainer in this coming week?
Can you please repeat that? I didn't get that, please. Please.
Apologize for that mix-up. Can you hear us, Mr. Tunde Segun?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, we're talking about Mikio in particular. I said that Mikio has sustained its place amongst the top gainers since its listing for a couple of weeks now. What should we expect as regards to Mikio in this coming week?
Actually, what has happened to Mikio is that Mikio is a newly listed, and what we have is the performance before listing. So what is actually moving Mikio now is the figure we have, which is a very positive one at hand, and of course the expectations and the rumors around it. That's why you see Mikio actually gaining. By the time analysts, we have enough figure to do the valuation, Mikio will find its place. So what I can say now is that if you are trading that stock, you should just trade with caution, because by the time we have the proper valuation of this stock, it's likely it goes higher, or it's likely it will be corrected to its normal price.
Okay, we look forward to yet another trading week, and we will be, of course, on the lookout as to how the market will fare in this coming week. Thank you, Mr. Jerariogbe Tunde Segun, for your insight on the program this morning.
You are welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
That's it on today's edition of Business Daily. Of course, we had an insightful conversation around developments in the Nigerian equities market and just what to expect as the week has commenced, yet another trading week. And from myself and the entire crew members, do well to join us again, same time, same station tomorrow. And you can also catch this interview on our social media platforms on YouTube and on Twitter and Instagram. My name is Chiamaka Nendu. Bye for now.